Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I was making a spot for a little fiber optic tree I have I'm gonna put back there. Um, that took me most of the day, and listening to a Jason from Archaics had a live stream on an old book. He was showing us some ancient creatures and monsters that they believed in back in the day, or some of or some people still do believe in them, like the Wendigo, or Sasquatch type of thingy. Those here in Leviathan and dragons, but some old drawings and different things from around the world. Pretty interesting. And then, so when I took a break, he had forgot to share a bunch of them that I didn't get to see when I was busy. So he shared them again. It was like perfect timing. It was pretty cool. Yeah, those are little blessings that I gather in the day. I was having kind of a sad morning. I'm grieving a person that's still alive, a family member that did something, many heinous things that I can't, unforgivable things that I can't even be around the person anymore. It's, so yeah, my heart's it's hurt. I mean, it's not physically sore like I have been in my life, literally broken hearted, but, yeah, I have a tattoo on my heart, and it used to be a heart, but now it's actually a broken heart. Yeah, there's a separation in the ink, almost where my heart got hurt. Isn't that odd? I think it's odd. I have 3 tattoos I gave myself when I was 15. My dad had um tattoo of great big eagle on his chest, and like skull and bone stuff and other symbolisms, you know, dragon stuff and whatever. Really beautiful artwork, colorful. Anyway, so yeah, he used to tell me it was a sparrow and it grew up. I think that's funny. Yeah. So keeping busy to me is really a good thing, and it's nothing in this world is ever going to shock me again. No, not like that. It would have to be something that's catastrophic to the whole world in order to even get an emotional reaction out of me. It's like, no, it's not happening. And that really was the intent of many people, uh, to bring upon my demise, or control over me. And that's pretty hard to do to a person when they don't give up, because we expect it. Excuse me. Yeah, we do. Yeah. So, and some people, it's called the holiday Hoover, for the narcissistic type people in our lives that want to, like, what? You don't like me 364 days, but on that one certain day, I'm okay because that's what you believe, It's whatever. I don't like you any of those days. I love you, but not very much on any day. That's how I feel about those type of people. So it's like, nah, Don't need it. I don't do halfway in anything, any relationship or anything. And I do expect out of people what I give. I don't mean anything that's a physical give. I just mean, you know what I mean, you know. Yeah. Put a little more paneling up in my room. Couple things. Cleaned off a workbench. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy. What's surprising though, um, is the amount of dirt that can come in when there's snow on the ground. How does dirt come in our houses? Of course, we know like treads in our shoes or boots, but I take them off at the door, by the porch, and I have my slippers, and I don't know, no clue. Oh, I guess too, walking in and out. Yeah, I suppose to get water, whatever. Yeah, and with Doug, and we live in the country, but it still surprises me. I was just thinking, what? Because I just swept my floor about a week ago, and I could see dust or cat hair, but dirt? There's snow on the ground. Dirt doesn't grow in a house, it comes from the ground. Same with, well, dust, I suppose, out of the air. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just sweeping up nanotechnology, you know, in that case. I'll burn it, you know. Christmas Day at 2 o'clock, RKX has got a video or a live stream he's going to do on the real Jesus. Let me pull up that actual. Um, I'll get the name of the video for you and check the time. Hey, it's important, you know. At least I think it is, you know. Same with Mary being from a wealthy family, and they said she was a whore and whatever. There's different Marys in the Bible, yeah, but they merge stories together to make something sound that it what it isn't. That's what people like me are interested in showing everybody. Okay, let me see. Should be here. Here it is. The real teachings of Jesus. He said there's one in here that is going to blow us away that we never heard before. And I'm thinking, I don't know about that, but we'll see. And my information doesn't just come from text, average text that people have read. So he probably knows I know it, but yeah, most people probably wouldn't. Because, like, if you're not familiar with that information, like I was, I mean, by 15, I knew everything Grandmaster Mason 3 times over, Jesuit, a priest, knew through not only the Vatican, but Rabbi Judaism, and the combination of everything is how they operate. That's why they accept all religions in their affiliated groups, whether it's the Knights of Columbus or the Templars or Scottish Rites or so on and so forth. And no, the Eastern Star is not just a Freemason female version that I've heard people say. They do an entirely different thing and aren't wouldn't be considered alchemists or sorcerers. They're witches, and they think they're doing a service, but only for their own selves, for their own future. And with the dark cabal still controlling them in positions that they had slaved other people out and thought that was funny. That's going to be their position forever on this planet, believe it or not. People that do that to other people and think nothing of it, yeah, they'll find out. So, anyway, yeah. So, I think tomorrow's video should have my little tree in it. I do have a tiny gold star that I put on top, but it doesn't really have a spot for one. I just have to put it towards the side. Or maybe it's silver. I think I had one of each. Maybe. I had these little tiny ornaments. But anyway, I don't know if I threw it away. I used to have the tiniest ornamental Christmas tree with little bells on the whole thing and little Japanese, floral Japanese fans and with gold and white and blue, those colors. It was really pretty little thing. But I I did dress it up one year, and that's why I'm gonna put. I have a big tree too, but that's artificial. But my granddaughter said, "You're not gonna decorate," and I'm like, "Well, I don't have any kids around." She's like, "You got us," and I'm thinking, "Well, okay, probably like when they see my video and I have the tree up. That's for all you Christmas lovers. I love you too, and that's why I will do that." I have quite a bit of ornaments, and I used to, um, I have one that's a French arborvitae right by my house, and it's got red Christmas lights, and I had a red and white candy cane. I'd sort of hang on it with a star up there. So, yeah, a white one. But I'm not doing that this year. Yeah. And then I had oh, snowman, a couple other things that I would put outside, but I'm not doing it. My neighbors are crazy like that. Pretty much all of them. Couple aren't, but as far as the Christmas thing, the one right across the field I can see, it's beautiful. Um, it's all done in white, and on their porch, it's like a ranch style house, and it looks like icicles. Well, mine's more the ranch pattern to it, so one level house. But yeah, theirs just looks phenomenal. Really pretty. So maybe maybe I'll talk Doug into driving up and down the road on Christmas and getting a Christmas video of the lights on Tunnel Road. Surprising for just one road out in the country. So, yeah, really the only topic I have today is keeping in the right frame of mind when the world tries to beat you down and just being emotionally stable through the whole thing, which can appear very self centered to the ones that are trying to manipulate you. But That's just too flippin' bad. Because that's what you have to do for yourself to survive, you know. So, yeah. That's why I love the internet so much, is people are always like, oh, screen time and this and that, and I leave it on all day, and then, like I say, and I come and go, and I'll have things playing and let it run and listen to it or playing music. I love it. Absolutely love it. From an age where, like, um, you have to have stamps and go to the post office, and all you got to do is type and push a button. You know, that's a cool thing. No matter who says what. I mean, I'm not into the idea of Neuralink and Skynet, um, human interface, and all the rest of their nefarious plans under the guise that it could help, say, like somebody with Parkinson's and neural pathway damages. What they're not telling you is you can repair nerve endings in your body. I'm living proof of it. You wouldn't believe, you wouldn't even believe I could go through so many accidents, even starting. I wasn't supposed to walk at 17. I pulled my spinal cord an inch and a half, over a little over an inch and a quarter, you know. So, and just a quarter of an inch with that spinal fluid making your body septic. If you don't know how to save your own life, I would have been dead a long time ago, and I wouldn't have been walking either if I had listened to what the doctors told me to say. But luckily, right before that, I had had nurses training and all my Red Cross courses and uh, one other thing. Oh, physical therapy training. So I could take care of myself better than a lot of people could. But yeah, and that's a blessing. I went into the right trainings in my life, like with food service, business management, and then that was at 15, and then at 17 into nursing school and working, and yeah, so those served me well, along with breaking horses and things I do, that that just served me well on this planet. So yeah. And so many things after that, and in between and before that, and wow, it's amazing the amount of things we can do in our lives and learn. That's really cool, you know. Mm. Speaking of doing things and learning, I helped Doug with well, I did helped him with some of the floor and some of the, um, well, I ground down the body so he could put paint on it. It's a real car. It's looks like a caricature, a cartoon, doesn't it? It's a 1948 Anglia, English Ford. Has a roll bar in it and tinted windows and pretty badass little car. Um, yeah, but now we have somebody else has that now, and we got a little tiny, oh, it's a 1937 truck, a little Chevy truck. So, and some other hot rods too, but that's just some of the stuff we've done. You know, I built my own car at 17. I had a body shop with my first husband, and yeah, so I actually literally worked on my own vehicle. Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. I'm not just like, okay, they say like somebody with a real independent personality like mine is like more on the masculine side or what. That isn't why. It's the same with the drywall. I didn't have a choice. This is something that my ex could do, and we could take the kids and do it a lot of the time. And he didn't have a driver's license, and he couldn't get a contractor's license like I did. And that's why I did that. It's not because I wanted to. It's the same like when I had to change the timing belt in one of my cars or put in, I'll tell you about that, or put in electronic ignition before I went to work, or a starter or alternator, whatever it was. I was capable of doing that. But one time, and now this is very womanly, you don't see a lot of men acting like this, but it's true. This is, a woman can only bleed so much, and then that gets old, you know, which reminds me, I started menopause at 34 because they botched my tubal ligation. So I went through that long time before a lot of women did. So back to the motor, pulled the motor out, had it up in the air, put the timing belt on, went to put the motor back in, and one of the motor mounts, I couldn't get it in there. It just wasn't going in the way it came out. I was so frustrated. I went in the house and I started crying like a big baby. Whew. After I got over that, I composed myself, and this is what I do. It's not that I'm more masculine than other women. I didn't have a choice. I had to get to work. What do you do? you know. So you learn how to do things by yourself when you don't have people to depend on. And if you can't afford to do things, then that's what you have to do. Like I pounded my own well for water with a neighbor kid by hand, you know, things like that I've actually done and know how to do. I mean, I could go on. It's weird as shit, and I didn't like 1 minute of it, but there you go. So it's not that somebody with an independent personality is pleased that with the actual manual labor that causes pain or extra bleeding for that matter. There's times where my body wouldn't stop bleeding because of the amount of strenuous work that it's had to do. So, I mean, yeah, don't be tripping that these Sigma females are masculine. You could go yourself. It has nothing to do with that. Has the difference between a woman that is willing to do whatever it takes to make her life go around and one that would depend on somebody else, you know. So anyway, and that's my personality. And when I have the chance to be feminine, I pride myself in being the most in anything I do, you know? I saw that a few times about Sigmas. It's like, yeah, you don't even know what you're talking about. First off, to be independent and start out as a ward of the state as an orphan, yeah, I got the corner on the market. on independence right there from the start. I didn't just grow up and say, oh, well, now I'm independent. Once again, I didn't have a choice, you know. Well, I'm not complaining. I am having a absolutely wonderful day. I'm a little hyper when I um get like a spot cleaned up, and you know what I mean. So I'm a happy hyper just chatting with you right now, you know. So, yeah, but emotional strength and emotional stability, and I know, to quote a friend, I am an emotional titan when it comes to that. People don't mess with me, especially if I know that they're narcissistic. It doesn't sting as bad. If you don't know and you get tricked, that's one thing. It's the same with these people out there that are in groups that are promoting disinformation that others like me are trying to straighten out. Um, there's groups of these people that agree, but they don't have the proof behind what they're all agreeing upon. And it's all going to break loose. I mean, you can't hide the truth forever. It always comes out into the light. Always. And there's always, like with a criminal, they think they're so slick, but I will find that one spot that you ignored, but I saw it. You know, that's how my brain works. And I always see something that others don't a lot of times because I know the human psyche that well. That's why I bother people, really. Um, the biggest reason is because they can't really um, run a game on me, you know. So that's probably about it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my strength of mind and my heart, my femininity, my strength, you know, being a well rounded person and knowing who I am and why I am like that, you know, all of these things. Because I do examine everything I do and people around me, everything they do too, as we all should. Yeah. You know, when you believe a certain way in life about stuff and you find out differently, and then you do want to find out not just from one source, but many, many. And then after a while, there's no ignoring the truth, you know? Once your mind has been stretched, it's never going back to where it was. And if you believe that you are made by a loving God, our Creator, our Father and Mother, if you believe that there is a Creator that loves you, then there's really nothing to fear besides fear itself. You know, really, really, it is. The only thing you would have to fear outside of that is the opinion of other people. And I'm way beyond that. I could care less. If I cared what other people thought, I wouldn't be talking to you. Well, I'm going to leave it there for today. I hope you're all having a happy beginning of winter, you know, whatever holidays you celebrate. I'm just going to celebrate them all this year. I don't care anymore. I really don't care. That's how I feel about the whole thing, you know. So I know there's a God that loves us, and whatever anybody wants to say or do, I don't care anymore. I'll give you all the proof in the world to the things I'm saying, and whether or not we believe the same way, it doesn't make me look at anybody any differently. I either like you lots or I don't like you lots, and the same with you and I. So, whatever, who cares really? If I say, if you call me ugly or whatever, yeah, well, I'd be like, okay, I probably am going to start looking at you the same way, but, whatever. Who cares? Do we really care all that much? You know? Now, if it goes into what a bully is, or nefarious, malintent, and greedy people that will say and do anything to benefit themselves, oh, that's a whole different story. So, okay, everybody, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.